Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are we going, all you rock stars, superstars, all you hustlers, all you grinders? Well, I don't really like that word, hustlers and grinders. I think that it implements resistance. You know, all you people that are finding the solutions, going after it, all you people that are, loving yourselves and really standing in your power. This is a message to you all. So, as my data research and as my team of having conversations with people, see how people are showing up and not, and so on and so forth, it's really understanding where people are at. And I was asking the questions with some of my new team that are on board. I spent about 2-3 hours with my new EA, my new executive assistant from the Philippines, and there was a set of questions that I asked them of, obviously them working with me or not. And then we also had an understanding of, I had an application because I will be attending my own retreat in Vegas. And so I had to fill out this massive application for it. And, obviously it didn't even matter that you paid all this money to do the one-on-one coaching. You had to, you had to show up, and you had to show up in your truth. And a lot of the stuff and a lot of the answers that were in this application really sparked, it really sparked something in me. And then I was talking to a lot of people, and you see how people show up, and you see what people are doing or what they're not doing, and you really need to ask the question, are people living in their truth? Are you living in your truth? Am I living in my truth? And most of the time, people might think that they are. They might be doing incredible activity and a lot of activity, but it isn't the truth. It is they either get manipulated, brainwashed, get caught up in a habit, or get caught up in a system, a strategy, society, and they start to think, not feel, that this is the truth. So once people get up doing a lot of this activity and getting involved with certain people or influence with others, or their environments, societies, teams, gangs, and just anything in the masses, or it could even just be one person. It could even be a relationship. It is that people don't live in their truth because they want to live in a comfort zone. So you will see certain people that, have you always seen, the beautiful skinny girl? She has her fat friend because the fat friend makes her look good, and then she doesn't have to, she's not challenged, so she stays in her comfortability zone. It's also that, a partner, or someone might have a partner that has really low standards or really low, outlook on life, or low belief systems, low values. And the reason why they will stay with that person, it is because it's like a suppression that they can keep living in their lie, and they don't need to live in their truth, and they will be challenged, Because they will be challenged, they'll be able to move forward that, so they would be able to keep themselves suppressed. They would be able to live in that lie. So I'll ask you a few questions about this as well. So I put together a scenario, and I put together a questionnaire of asking power questions of, are you living in your truth, or are you living a lie? Because the thing is, you could be doing activity, you could be doing a job, you could be doing a business, you could be a role, you could be a father, you could be a mother, you could be a CEO, you could be cleaning toilets, but people will get caught up with doing activity, but it is not their truth. So this is how we're going to find it out. So if you're doing something and you find it's forced, if you're doing something and you feel like, you don't have the confidence, as some people say, or the ability to take it to the next level because you aren't valuing, you don't really feel that you have the value to take it to the next level and above, then that's a very important understanding of, okay, what am I doing? How am I going to be getting to where I want to be going? Because a lot of people might be following some dream, might be following a business idea, might be following a system, a strategy, might be following a mentor. But the problem is, they're doing this for significance. They're either doing it for money, significance, or they're doing it for an understanding of, well, hold on a minute, well, this is what seems to be good. This is what seems to be the cool thing. This is the trend. And you see that they're actually following, and it's really scary because in all other areas of life, they will show up to be false. They will show up to be a lie. So they would be understanding, and they would be false to be, you know, they wouldn't be spending enough time with their partners, enough time with their children, enough time with their girlfriend, boyfriend, you know, enough time with their team. And why they do that is because if you can live in your truth, you will have enough time always. Yeah, you will have enough time to do the important things. If you live in your truth, you won't be putting on weight, you won't be getting sick, you wouldn't be putting up with someone with low standards. When you live in your truth, that you have the people around you and they either have just as high standards or even higher standards. You'll be always putting yourself around people that are a lot better than you, that are going to challenge you, that are going to stretch you, and more importantly, they're going to be the right people that are going to be able to move you into going into your growth, into the truth. And that's what it is. Expansion, growth is your truth. So you know that some people would like to live a lie and stay in their comfort zone, just chill back here a little bit, let's just, you know, let's just kick it, or whatever it might be. And that's because when you stay in your comfort zone, when you aren't expanding, when you aren't challenging yourself, you're living the lie. Because when I say living a lie, are you living at your best ability? Are you expanding? Are you challenging yourself? No. And that's, you know, people go, but that's not a lie. I'm just in my comfort zone. But you are lying to yourself, because the human spirit and, you know, the human evolution is evolution. You need to be growing. You need to be expanding. And I see a lot of people that are wanting to change the world. They're wanting to help people, but only in one area of the life. The rest of the areas of life are really suffering. Yeah. So if you're of someone of high standards of success, of discipline, of routine, of health, of wealth, of contribution, of self-love, and so on and so forth, then do you think being a partner that abuses themselves, you know, being with a partner that doesn't really have any aspirations, that they sort of just switch on and off because, you know, they feel, well, I need to do something, that's not living the lie. You need to understand that if you're living in your truth, then you will either lead that person to have those higher abilities, higher standards, higher living and lifestyle, or otherwise you're just, well, I want to do this and I want to help people, but only when the camera's on me and only when I want to do it. Yeah, that's called living a lie. You know people that have balance, you know people that are always working on themselves in all areas, that, you know, some areas might be lagging a little bit, but they are always working to have balance. They are always working to have those high standards and always looking to expand and to push themselves. I'll give you an example. So, you know, if you're talking about your health goal, you don't need to be a rippling bodybuilder or some sports model Barbie doll. You could be doing yoga, you could be eating well, you could be healthy, you know, you don't need to be having a six-pack, but you could be feeling great and you could be representing health, yeah? And if you're representing health and what it is to you, for you to sustain your goals and to match what you desire in your life, then fantastic. You know, like, you don't need to be a sports model or a bodybuilder if you're, or whatever, if you're a yoga teacher or if you're a coach or whatever it might be, because, you know, whatever your goals are, there's you know, you can still be a bodybuilder and whatever, but you don't need to be the extreme. It needs to be that balance, and it can't be forced. If the results are forced, obviously you're not in your truth. So then if you're talking about your wealth goal, whatever your wealth goal is it to teach people how to have the mindset, to have the sustainability, to be able to have, well, you know, wealth is functionality, wealth is sustainability, wealth is giving you power, it's giving you time, choice, and so on and so forth. One thing I will say, and this is what I was going to leave to the end, but I'm just going to stop there. If you have been finding in life that it's been stop and start, you stop and start a lot of things and you go to a lot of seminars and you do this and you do that, then you're living in your lie. Why I say that, it is because success doesn't need to be forced, yeah? Success should become easy and it should be effortless. If you're finding it okay that you show up and then you go MIA, you show up and you go MIA, missing in action if people don't know that, and if you feel like you're putting on weight, you're losing it, if you feel like you're coming into money, then you're losing it, if you feel like you're showing up to help people, then you're not, if you're showing up that you're creating a team, then it crumbles, if you're showing up to be able to have a great relationship and then that fails, and then so on and so forth, that is a similarity of, are you living in your truth or you're living in your lie? And I'll be honest with you, some of those things that I just said then was me last year, me not living in my truth. And that was, certain things of the way I was showing up. Just give me a sec, guys. I've got something in my eye. This is making me all emotional. I just had an eyelash. I've got these extra crazy long eyelashes, and when I wear my glasses, they hit. That's how long they are. So, and I'm giving you a guide. I'm giving you a template. If some of these things that you can tick off, then you're going to go, wow. You know, and I know last year there was times, parts of my life, I was living a lie. You know, it's how I was showing up. You know, there were certain things in my relationship. There was the results that were going like that. And obviously, you know, that's being honest. That's being very honest with you guys and being able to say, okay, cool. You know what? My truth is when I'm ticking all these boxes and when I'm living a lie, when I'm not expanding, growing, when I'm not at my, you know, not best potential, because you always can expand, but when I know that I can do a lot better, okay, now I have some guide, now I have a template, now I have a, you know, a threshold, and you can do that. And this is another thing. When your success or your desired outcomes are, oh geez, I need to turn on the switch now, or I need to look for it now, that's living a lie, because your desired outcomes of who you want to become, if it's some great coach, a mentor, a parent, expert, some, you know, a light worker, whatever it might be, yeah, a health coach, it's your lifestyle. So there's no on and on switch. Success isn't on and off, you know, it's always on. It becomes your lifestyle. And then what happens is these strategies of where you need to be going and so on and so forth, that blends into your lifestyle. It's not like, geez, I need to do it now. No, it becomes you. You empower what you desire. And a lot of people get this mixed up. When are you having a session in Melbourne? Meaning, are you talking about the workshops? I'm going to actually be holding. That's quite cool, because I'm actually going to be holding a meetup, and I'm going to be rounding a lot of people up. It's going to be a free meetup, information night, just to be talking about, you know, what we are doing, get to meet people, you know, find out what people are needing, and then obviously if people find it of value, then we'll be moving them into a workshop. You know, the workshop is the 2-day transformation, and then, you know, if people want to be taken on from coaching from there, or they can come to the retreats, whatever is into them. So that will be happening soon. I was actually talking to one of my new business partners. We're creating a business branding, marketing, deep strategy, and you know, a whole new retreat. So it's going to complement the mindset. So people have fixed up their mindset, their foundation, and then we're going to be moving them into now, because they value themselves and they have more of their conviction, and then obviously being able to express their gifts, which some people call business, but I call that an exchange of energy. Exactly what we're doing now. So, you know, people, you really want to find this out, that you know if you've done a lot of work on yourself and you've been away from something, or people have come to a retreat or whatever it might be, then what happens is when they come back, you know, or when you come back into your environment, and you will feel at a place, because you've got this new knowing, you've got this new evolution, you've got this new understanding of who you are and how you're going to get there. You will find that you will start living in your lie, that if you don't allow it, if you allow things to affect you, then you're going back to your old ways, and that's when you start to go back to living a lie. And what living a lie means is functioning anywhere but close to your full potential, always expanding, always growing, you know, being at that higher vibration. And that's what people don't understand, is that if you want to move to the next level of evolution, if you want to move to the next level of being able to grow and be the best version of yourself, it's like a radio station. You need to change the frequency. You need to go Nova 100, whatever the frequency is, and so on and so forth. And that's how you operate. We are electric machines. Our biomechanics, the way our bodies work, it's all about electricity. And when you get your vibration high, you get your energy high, your thought patterns, your beliefs, your actions, your behaviors, then what you're doing is then you're going to be changing yourself. You're going to be, you know, putting yourself in a perspective of how you're going to be able to grow and how you're going to be able to evolve. So check this out, that you can't be wanting to evolve and be a person that has great health, and you have a partner in your life or someone in your life that is extremely overweight, because that's just massive resistance, massive beliefs and values. Yeah, you're just staying with that person for comfortability. Or if you have an abundant mindset, and you know you've got this amazing abundant mindset. Hopefully I can find a park, because otherwise I'm going to miss one here. You know, you've got this amazing abundant mindset, and then what happens is your partner's got a scarcity mindset, yeah? And the problem with having that scarcity mindset is obviously a lot of different things. Just give me a sec, guys. I'm gonna reverse just in here. There you go. You get some. Geez, it's getting quite dark, isn't it? So, and that's how you will know what you're willing to put up with and what you're not willing to put up with. Geez, we've got it a little bit dark. What about if I chuck this light on? Boom, there we go. Now we've got, looks like I've been in a sauna. So that doesn't make a difference. Just in underground parking, we thought it would make it a little bit more romantic. So you know what, and I want the people that have just gone in now, I want you to go back and really listen to the start of this, because this is something that's quite important. That you always find that if someone is going to the gym then stopping, if someone's starting a business then failing, if someone's in a relationship they're not, if someone's, you know, that wanting to go and help people but they've got someone that has got just, you know, no values, no beliefs, no take on life, abusing them, abusing themselves, and so on and so forth. It's this, yeah? If you understand and you get what I'm talking about. If you are someone that meditates, if you're someone that focuses and understands how powerful the mind is, and you're someone that studies the mind, has done NLP and meditates, does yoga, has been on retreats, has self-discovered, has the awakening, and if you've got a partner that abuses themselves, that is on antidepressant, that's always so-called depressed up and down, do you think that's going to be an understanding of do you think that's going to be a conflict of interest? It is a massive conflict of interest, yeah? And the reason why that's a conflict of interest is because if you're doing all that and you're allowing your partner, your children, your team to be in that low vibration, those low standards, so what's that telling you? What that's telling you is that part of you is you're allowing yourself to live in that lie, to be around someone that is still in that dark energy, that's in that toxic understanding. That's not your growth, because you showing up, hey, look at me, is a lie. Because all parts of your life is that your standards, that you don't settle for anything like that, yeah? It's like, you know, being in a team and having like a black sheep, or being in a team and having someone that's toxic, or and so on and so forth. And unfortunately, when you're in a workplace, you've got no choice. So do you think when you're in a workplace, you can't choose your workers? And you think that there are people like this? Of course they are. Are you in your truth when you're at work? No. Are you in your power and when you're in work? Most of the time, no, because you're challenged, you're around it, do this, do that, yeah? There is a roof on your growth and your potential. So what you really need to be connecting with people is understanding that your truth is when things are and become easy and effortless. Success becomes a science of knowing what the biomechanics and the system are. Then it becomes an art because it flows and it becomes sexy and it looks and feels great, yeah? Just like art, you know, you look at the masterpiece. And if you're having an understanding in your life that you start a network marketing company and then you start this business and stop, and you do that and stop, and you do yoga and stop, and then you do weights and stop, and that's you living in your lie. So what I say to you today is start to break down your foundation of all your life categories and start to look at, okay, these are all my foundations of all my life categories. What do I want from all of this? How do I grow from all of this? When I'm in my power, when I'm in my truth, how do all these categories feel? How do they sound? And how do they look? About having that understanding of, okay, now I understand of the identity, or write this down. For me to be in my truth and power, like I said when I do my success priming in my video this morning, for me to be in my power, I need to have, what is the consciousness? What is the knowing of the result that I'm receiving? What is the identity, and what is the attraction energy I need to be, that I'm going to be in my power, I'm going to be in my truth, and I'm going to be in that whole complete being for all my life categories. And that's where your power is going to come from. And that, my friends, that's when you know things will be right. Because I see people that are on these adventures wanting to better themselves and self-discover and change that, and they've got people around them with a low vibration, and it's that, and you say, well, I get it. You're doing this because you're keeping these people around you because you make yourself feel better, because you aren't challenged, you aren't threatened, you know. And you see a lot of coaches like this, that they're creating, you know, these empires on the backs of broken people. Yeah, they're creating these empires. They don't want to get strong other leaders that they're going to be challenged, that they're going to call them out. They want to have people that are there so they can keep them there, they can keep them suppressed. So then, you know, you keep pulling the wool over their eyes, and you see it everywhere. But, you know, it's your choice if you want to be living in that lie as well. So that's where we're at, people. If you want to be in an abusive relationship, if you want to be in a relationship that, you know, isn't making you better, that's what a relationship it is. It doesn't need to be hard. It's for two people to come and enjoy themselves and for them to grow. And that's the same as a business relation. You know, if something doesn't feel right, that means it's not right, yeah? And you really need to voice it, or you just now go, well, no, you know what? You've had too many chances. You know, this is not going right. Your truth is showing up because you keep fucking up. See you later. You do your thing, and, you know, all the best. And you will see that, because a person that keeps fucking up, that keeps cheating, that keeps lying, that keeps, you know, doing that, the reason why they keep doing it, because that's their intention. Their intention is to lead a lie. Their intention is to use people. Their intention is to get what they want, to see where they're at, and that's what they are. You know what? And you don't need to be you don't need to be a scientist or an inspector. The signs are there. People keep fucking up. People keep stopping and starting. They don't want the success. They would prefer to stay broke, overweight, single, miserable. They don't want it bad enough. If they want it bad enough, you will see the people. This is what I will say to you. If you want success, happiness, balance, whatever it needs to be, wealth, health, all the life categories, you will find a way. But you will remain in your pain, you will remain in your lie, because you are looking for all the reasons what can go wrong instead of all the reasons for what can go right, because you are addicted to that pain to live in your lie. So you have a choice today. You have a choice today to take in these templates, to take in, geez, you know what? I was feeling this, but I didn't know that I was living in a lie. Changing these things around, changing people, move things, move your environment, and start to live in your truth. And then that, my friends, that's when the magic happens, and that's when your life will do a 360 somersault, and you will go, wow, now this is living. So have an amazing day. I'm Lee Bundy, the CEO of Team Beast Mode International, the messenger of strength. And the people that actually missed this, so what I'll get you to do, go back, take the notes down, go over it, rock it out, and then implement it, because at the end of the day, it's where people don't implement the information is where they fail. So have a great day. Thank you for being on. All the best.